Now, the seventh shiur, yes. We are in our, oh, you already started recording? Okay. Welcome to our Thursday night shiur, to all the strong people who made it. We are in Gates of Reincarnation. We're finishing today, Be'ezrat Hashem, chapter 1, Hakdama Aleph. And before we start Hakdama Aleph, I have to remind all of you, because we only see each other once a week, what we learned last week. Okay? Now, to remind you guys, I'm going to draw it on the board. Remember we said we have how many parts of the soul?
5.
There's 10 parts to every part. How many parts of the soul? 5. Nefesh, Ruach, Neshama, Chaya, and Yechidah. So we said, let's take our Nefesh, the lowest part. Nefesh comes from the world of, which world? Asiyah. Very good. That's our world. Okay? Nefesh comes from the world of Asiyah. Now, the Ari says, now the Nefesh itself has 5 parts, right? Each part has 5 parts. So the Nefesh has Nefesh, Ruach, Neshama, Chaya, and Yechidah. This is the lowest, this is the highest. So let's say I have Nefesh of the Nefesh. This one has how many parts we said? 10. Keter, Chokhmah, Bina, Chesed, Gevurah, Tifer, Netzach, Hod, Yesod, Malchut. We said Da'at is a quasi-sphera. It's only in play when Keter is not in play. So we said that in Asiyah, let's say I come from the sphere. What's the last sphera? Malchut. So let's say my soul comes from the Malchut. I come from the family of Malchut. We said the world of the Nefesh, which comes from the world of Asiyah, has a special prerequisite. Before I could get to the next level, I have to take this Malchut and raise it up all the way to where? To Keter. Why? And the same thing with every single one. So that means, depending where your soul is, in which sphere it belongs to, you have to work almost 10 times as hard than you would in any other part of your neshama. Why is the nefesh so hard? Why is it so hard to fix? Because it's all the way at the end. Very good, you remember. Because since the world of Asiyah, after this world, what's under it? The Sitra Alpha, the Klipa, the Kali. Since the Kali is right under it, if I fix the Malchut and get to the next level and leave the Malchut fixed, I don't know who's fixing the other parts. Chas v'shalom, the Kali might come and take it back to themselves. God forbid. So therefore, in every single one of these parts, I have to uplift my portion, my soul, all the way till the get.
No, practically not.
But on the other ones, you said that you can...
Right. Now, that's for the world of, that's only dealing with what?
Nefesh.
The Nefesh. Where's the eraser? Okay, so we're gonna erase this. Now, let's do the Ruach. Ruach we'll do in red. I have a Ruach. Ruach, remind me, comes from which world? Yetzirah. The Ruach has how many parts? 5 parts. Nefesh the Ruach, Ruach the Ruach, Neshama the Ruach, Chaya and Yechidah of Ruach. Now, how many parts does the Nefesh have? 10 Sefirot. Keter, Chokhmah, Bina, Da'at is quasi, Chesed, Gevurah, Tifer, Netzach, Hod, Yesod, Malchut. Let's say once again I come from the Sefirah of Malchut. I'm from the Malchut of the Nefesh of the Ruach. Once I have the ability to change my root soul, if I fix my midot, my actions, my attributes really good, and I do a lot of mitzvot in the highest of levels, which is the 5 levels, in action, in speech, in kavanah, in thought, and in re'utah deliba. I said dibur already. Re'utah deliba means with a lot of happiness and great will. If I do it so much, let's say I finish the Malchut, I'm able to attain another Ruach. I can change my root soul. Right? Then I become to what? Yesod. I could become such a great person. I could change my soul again. I could become what? Netzach. And then I could become Hod, Tiferet, Chesed, Gibura, Chokhmah, Bina, Dat, and Keter. I could do that. Now, what's the thing over here?
But is that really what you don't really have to do that?
You don't have to do that, but the more parts you get, the bigger your Olam Haba becomes.
But if I reach, let's say, Neshama, let's say Neshama of the Malchut.
Neshama of the Malchut? Or Neshama of Nefesh? What do you mean Neshama of the Malchut?
Okay, Ruach, Nefesh, Ruach is gone.
Let's say I do Nefesh and Ruach, okay?
Now you're in Neshama.
Yeah, I'm in the Neshama. Of the Ruach.
Of the Ruach,
Yeah, let's say.
of the Malchut.
I'm from the Sphira of Malchut. Yeah.
Then it doesn't make a difference.
So let's say, for example, let me give you an example. Every person, every Neshama, let's say I come from the Malchut, right? So people who come from the Malchut, the Ariya Kadosh teaches us later on, Rav Chaim Vital was from the Malchut. Now he was from the Malchut of the left shoulder of Adam HaRishon. People who come from the Malchut of the left shoulder of Adam HaRishon have 11 mitzvot that they're more connected to than any other person in the world. For example, to have kids, to give tzedakah. What does that mean to give tzedakah? If there's a poor person in the community, you have to go out of your way to make sure that he has food for Shabbat. Number 3, to build a gate in your roof. To build a gate in your roof, which includes window guards. You know, window guards is a midrabanan of the ma'akeh, by the way, to put a window guard up. If you have a roof that's not slanted but straight, like a person could fall off, God forbid, you have a mitzvah to say the bracha to put up a gate. So people who come from the malchut of the left shoulder of Adam HaRishon are very connected to those mitzvot, and there's a couple of other ones. If you come from the malchut, all you have to do is those mitzvot really well, and the rest you could do how you say it. I did them. But if you're gonna do all of them really well, what am I connecting to? To every single sphera. And therefore my soul becomes much bigger.
But if you become, let's say you go up 3 levels, you become Netzach, right?
Yes. What happens to the other ones?
No, that means you don't have to do, let's say, the tzedakah so well. You know?
Correct.
So,
now your tikkun changes.
So it never ends. There's no,
No,
I'll
once
do
you get
this
to
the best.
Yeah, once you get to the Keter. You know what people who come from Keter are connected to? Humbleness. Be simple people. That's what they're connected to. Moshe Rabbeinu reached the Keter of all the levels. He reached the Keter of all the levels. Unbelievable. But you guys get that point, right?
Every level?
Yeah, every level.
Every level you have to do the same mitzvot again.
Yes.
So
How does it
it
change?
doesn't make sense. Like,
Did you ever ask yourself a question? How come I have to put on tefillin every single day?
no.
Why not? Torah says to put on tefillin.
Right.
You gotta put it on every day? Why do you have to put on tefillin every day? You know every mitzvah you have to do a couple of times?
What do you mean?
Just like what you just asked. I'm in the malchut now, right? Now I'm getting to the malchut of the ruah. I gotta do all the mitzvot again.
Again.
Yeah.
But the highest level.
Now it has to be even better.
How does it get better?
For example, you asked me
How
a
do
good
you
question.
travel
I'm
up?
explaining to you. You guys are jumping. You guys are not jumping there. You just don't remember what you learned already. This was like Shar Gilgulim number 3.
I wasn't here.
You weren't here for that, correct? So let's say I'm very connected to the mitzvah of tefillin. My soul comes from tefillin. How do I know I'm from tefillin? By the way, if I want to know I'm from tefillin, I'm very particular about that mitzvah. I'll see a guy wearing it wrong. It'll rub me off the wrong way. It'll get me upset, but not upset. I'll get angry. I'm gonna go and try to fix it for him. You understand? So let's say I come from tefillin. I keep on doing tefillin every day. Doesn't mean I fix the malchut. Just because I did it. Because one day you're wearing it and you had bad thoughts while you were wearing it. One day you were wearing it to use the bathroom one day you were wearing it and you just did it b'dil bi'avor. But let's say you fixed it. When you're in the nefesh, for example, I only have to do it well. That means my tefillin has to fulfill all the strict measures of tefillin. If that means wearing 2 small tefillins at the same time, if that means having the best sofer writing it, because that's the asiyah, that's the action part of tefillin. Now I got to the ruach. This is the nefesh. Nefesh is all action. In ruach, how do I do it? Ruach is what? Speech. It's the dibur part. What's the ruach of tefillin? When I say the bracha, I say it with a lot of kavanah. Because let's say I just took tefillin and I put it on. Did I do the mitzvah of tefillin? Of course I did. Because the brachot and ma'akvot, the blessings don't stop that you actually fulfilling the mitzvah of tefillin.
And
So,
actually, sorry, what's the difference between nefesh of doing tefillin
yeah,
and nefesh of ruach doing tefillin?
the difference is on a whole different level. When I'm in the nefesh of doing tefillin, my mitzvah is only reaching the nefesh in the olamot.
I understand that.
So what does that mean? So what does that mean? That your mitzvah, when you do it, is on such a low level that it's basically I go to shul. I didn't even go to shul. I just woke up. I put on tefillin a minute before shkia. I just did it. So that's nefesh b'nefesh. You just did it. When you're a nefesh b'ruach, you know what kind of person gets a ruach? He's on a tremendous level. A person who has ruach is on a tremendous level. You know what it means to finish all 5 parts of your nefesh? I just showed you guys. You have to work 10 times harder in every level of the nefesh.
My question is now, you have to finish all the mitzvot before you jump up, or each mitzvah on its own?
You have to finish every single mitzvah. You're never going to get to the ruach until you finish all 613 mitzvot. And you have to do every single one of them. You either have to do it 5 times, you learned it, that was the shita of the sadeh, or you have to do every mitzvah in action. That means the mitzvah itself has to be the best every time. In ruach, that means learning about the mitzvah. In neshama, which is kavana. In machshava, that means having good thoughts, the right meditations. And in yechida, which is ru'utah de liba, which is what's ru'utah de liba? When I wear it, I'm happy to wear it. I can't wait the next morning when I put on tefillin, when I wear my tzitzit. When I get the tzitzit, I make sure I don't buy regular strings. I buy $50 strings. They even put it together, lishma. And I do it myself. And I do it with the kavanah of the Ben Ish Chai. All these make a difference. You understand? All these make a difference in how it affects you. Okay? This all affects you. Okay? So let's go back. Because I want to finish Hakdama out today. I know you guys have a lot of questions, but you know. You gotta listen to the other shiurim because these answer all the questions, or voice side. We gotta go weiter. Okay? So, in the ruach, so what's special about when you start ruach? Once I finish the malchut and I could go up to what level? Yesod. I don't have to bring the malchut all the way up to what? Okay. I don't have to do that. Why? There's no klipa over there. I'm not worried about the klali. So what happens to the malchut? So that means if I was malchut, now I got the yesod. Who am I now? Am I a man of yesod or am I a man of malchut? Or am I a man of both?
Malchut never leaves, you know?
Once you fix it. So what happens when I get to the yesod? My charge of my soul changes. It's like a person was 5 feet, now he's 5 feet and 1 inch. Like your soul just became a bit taller, as if. You understand? So the malchut, it's as if it cancels out. Because the difference between malchut and the yesod is light years. Rabbi Yehuda Abtai and Bet Lechem Yehuda once made a measure. He once counted how many light years is between every sphera. He got to a number like 500 billion light years between every sphera. Could you imagine how big the galaxy is? How big the nikuda is where Hashem made it tzimtzum? So my point is, what happens to this malchut? What happens to it? So I fixed it, it just stays there, now I'm a yesod. So now I'm a man of yesod. What happens to this malchut? What happens? It's finished. Yeah, but I fix it, I get a sachar, I get a reward for it, but this, who takes it? Is it still me?
carry it with you.
Do I carry it with me or not?
Probably elevated.
Nefesh shebanefesh.
While I'm alive, while the tzaddik is alive, I got to ruach. It's still with him, obviously. I'm talking about after a person passes away. Every part goes to his part in Gan Eden. What happens to this? Huh? No. Every part of your soul goes to a different place. Your nefesh stays on the grave. Your ruach goes to Gan Eden Sheva'aretz. Your ruach goes to Gan Eden Sheva. There's a Gan Eden in this world. Your neshama goes to Gan Eden Ha'elyon. Every part of your soul goes somewhere else. Okay? So it never say you're not one person. You are made of many pieces. Only God is made up of one thing. Only one. He's the only one. We are made up of many different particles.
Moshe Rabbeinu also.
Moshe Rabbeinu was made up of the most. He was the biggest. Alright? So today we're going to learn what happens to these things. After I fix them, and I achieve the higher level, what happens? What can I do with them? So let's learn. Okay? So, we were up to page Chavav. You remember? Chavav. V'hineh. Ein safek, there is no doubt, says the Ari. Ki rochehun v'nishmateon, the ruach and the neshama, the tzadikim of tzadikim, hem genuzot, they are hidden, utzrurot, and locked up, bitzror chayim, in the treasure chest of life. What does that mean, in the treasure chest of life? When David HaMelech sees Abigail, his wife, she was one of the most 7 beautiful women in the world. When she sees his wife, and he was very upset, she was married at that time. And she blesses him. She was a prophetess, and she told him, your soul will be hidden in the treasure of life. Because many tzaddikim were worried because they were on such a high level, one small sin could bring them into Gehenom. They were very afraid of Gehenom. They don't want to go there. Because in Gehenom, you don't see Hashem. It's just a very hot laundry machine. You understand? So Abigail told this to David HaMelech, your soul will be hidden in the treasure chest of life, which is a very big blessing. At that moment, he was the happiest man in the world. He was so angry, he wanted to kill her whole family. When she said that, he became very happy. So a tzaddik's ruach and his neshama stays in the treasure chest of life. Means once he's done with it, he's done with it. He finished his job. They get to enjoy in Gan Eden till Tchiyat HaMetim. What do they do in Gan Eden? Whatever they do, nobody knows what goes on really over there. They learn Torah. Kol echad bimkomo, shorsho haraui lo. Everybody goes to a shorsh neshama. If you're Yesod, you go to the world of Yesod. If you're Malchut, you go to the world of Malchut. Haraui lo met Hashem Elokechem ve'einam yordim bimkomam klal. And they don't go from their place out. That means once I fix, let's say I achieved Yesod. Once a person's soul passes away, his soul goes up to the world of Yesod and he stays there. He enjoys from the Shekhinah all the way up there. He's in the realm of angels. And they don't move, they don't ever move until Tchiyat HaMetim. Aval, Otam Aruchin Arishonim, the first ruach that he fixed, that he was originally. He wasn't originally a Yesod. What was he originally? A Malchut. What happens to that? So the Ari says, Shenisharu le'mata, that stayed in the bottom. What happens to them? B'chol b'china u'madrega, in every aspect and level, Sheva Yitzira and Yitzira, V'lo alu ad le'mata, they don't go all the way up to his new level, because the Malchut can go up to Yesod, even though they were both with me while I was alive. Hem yordim u'mit'abrim be'adam l'say'o. Those are the souls of tzaddikim that go down and help other Jews.
Which of the Muslims?
For example, the Iburs. They're the impregnations. They're the Iburs. So I remember I told you guys last week, I did Kibud Avayim really good. And Rabbi Tarfon comes inside of me. It's not Rabbi Tarfon's highest level, the ones he really achieved. It's Rabbi Tarfon's level when he first started out. It's still something. Yeah. This is just an example, Shabaruach, right? I just gave you an example. So let me give you an example. In this case, where the guy, he was originally a Malchut, then he went up to become a Yesod. Now, on the bottom of the world over here, in the world of Asiyah, there's a guy walking down. Let's call him Daniel. And he's a very big tzaddik, and he did a very big mitzvah that this tzaddik achieved. Now, this tzaddik is going to come into him to help him. What part of the tzaddik comes down to help him? Only the lowest part. This part is Bitzror HaChaim. Is sealed in the treasure chest of life. He doesn't go anywhere.
But it's from
So
the
it's-
Doesn't matter, it could be from any level.
Even though he came from the Malchut himself,
Even though he wasn't originally a Malchut.
but that's the one he achieved the most.
What do you mean he achieved the most?
Because he led leaving the first stage the hardest.
In the Asiyah, you have nothing to talk about, because where does everybody go up until? Keter.
Okay.
In this world, once he gets to Ruach, it doesn't matter. Let's say, so for example, let's call this guy Daniel. Daniel. How does he get the Malchut of this tzaddik's original soul? How does he get it? He himself has to have inside of him what? A Malchut. If he does, and he has to have the Malchut of the Nefesh of Yitzirah in this case, of Ruach.
Same short.
He has to be the same Shorish Neshama. If he's not the same Shorish Neshama, he can't connect. Why? Our charges of our souls are two different charges.
So he has to be in the same world.
He has to be in the same world. He's not, let's say he's in Nefesh right now, he's only in a Nefesh. Nefesh, Shebenefesh. He can't get the Nefesh of a Ruach. He can't get the Nefesh of the Ruach Sheberuach. He can't get that. It's a much higher level than him. You understand? Capish, guys? I think I lost some of you guys. I lost you. Okay, let's start from the beginning. The picture here is a bit of Mishkabawa. I'm not much of an artist.
I don't understand what's the question.
Okay. Oh, what's the?
Let's start with that.
שנייה.
Let me make a new picture. Let's, without so many parts. Let's say we have a guy over here. His name is Daniel. Okay, this is Daniel. He has inside of him, he has Nefesh, Sheba, Ruach. Inside he has Nefesh, Sheba, Ruach. He's walking outside with this kind of soul, big soul. He does a very big mitzvah. This mitzvah gives him the zechut to have an ibur. Ibur neshamot tzadikim. So this tzaddik, what will come inside of Daniel? Only the nefesh sheberuach of that tzaddik. And only which part? The lowest part.
Always the lowest part.
Yes, the one that he fixed and it stayed down there. That means this tzaddik was originally a malchut.
But what if he was a Yisod?
Oh, so let's say he was a yesod, and then he changed, and he to what? He went to Netzach, let's say. Let's say he went to Netzach. Netzach stays in the treasure chest of life, and yesod has the ability to go down into people.
You saw that Malchut?
No, only if he was originally a malchut. You never. Not everybody
So
starts
the
with
lowest
a malchut.
part that he started off
And fix
and fixed can go down.
could go down.
How about if you want him to
Everything else goes into the treasure.
So everything else goes to the treasure chest. So let's say this tzaddik, he had malchut, he had yesod, he got netzach too, and he also got tiferet, and he stayed at tiferet. He couldn't get higher than tiferet. So in that tzaddik, netzach, hod, yesod, and malchut could go down in an ibur. It could go down to 5 guys. Because how many parts is going out? Netzach, hod, yesod, 4 parts. 4 parts will go down as an ibur.
But he didn't finish. Oh,
What do you mean? I said he got to tiferet.
I mean, he didn't finish Tiferet.
So that's tzaddik.
So why
no.
is that the great
Oh
way?
no, he finishes
Wait,
tiferet
wait.
too. Obviously, tiferet stays with Tzorah Chaim, and everything else can go down in a ibur.
So he finished Tiferet right now, then he's Gura.
No, he finishes tiferet and he cannot change. Either he could also get gevurah, or either he can't
If
change
he
that.
was Malchut and
Stop. He finishes Tiferet, and he doesn't have the capability
Why?
to go up to Gevurah because he cannot do mitzvot on a higher level anymore. He can't do mitzvot on a higher. He can't learn any more Torah. That's it. He got to his maximum potential. That's it. Okay. He went to the highest level of humility that he could. He can't go anymore. So now he's gonna go to Ruach Sheberuach. But where is he gonna start now from? No, from Tiferet.
Yeah,
Because he already finished all this. Now he's a new man.
He's getting a new aspect.
Every aspect that you get is a new piece of you and a new thing that you work with. You're a new person with every aspect. Now I have Ruach Sheberuach, I'm a new person.
Okay.
Understand?
What if he started out in Malchut, got to Tiferet?
Yeah.
Now, all the other ones
Yeah.
can come down to Zibors.
Yeah.
Goes up with it.
Anything that's below.
Yeah.
But Tiferet goes into the treasure chest.
Yes. But if he fixed Tiferet.
Why not the other ones?
Because
why not just the lowest one going to the
Ah.
Zibor and the rest goes into
Did you hear his question? Guys, did you hear his question? Did you hear his question?
What was his question?
His question is how come only the highest level that you achieve goes into the treasure chest?
That's exactly what I asked. It
How come
should be the
not-
opposite. Because those are the ones he fixed, those should be already,
Yeah.
those
The
should be
bank.
Ganuz, and the one that he,
Think about it. If you got a promotion, you went from a lieutenant, now you're a sergeant. You want to be known right now as a lieutenant. You want them to write on the tombstone he was a lieutenant, or they want you to write that he was a sergeant.
Okay.
Why? You had a promotion. If you were a doctor, regular doctor, and then you became the manager of the hospital, you want to be known as a doctor or the manager of the hospital?
Whoever makes more money.
Do you get the point?
I get it.
You're a new guy, you're a much higher level. You know what you Tiferet and Yesod is? It's light years. It's billions of light years. Do you know what you move
Okay, the Ibur,
as a Tiferet? Yeah, what's your question?
the Iburim are going only in the Ruach, or they're going down to Nefesh Banefesh? Because you wrote down Nefesh. The
So
Ruach.
this guy, this guy has to be a, let's say,
He's in Ruach now.
yeah, he's in
Talking
Ruach.
about
Let's say he's in Nefesh Baruach.
Yes.
He could get an Ibur in Nefesh Baruach. Of Nefesh Baruach, and only in the same Sphira that he is in.
What about the guys who are in Nefesh Banefesh?
What?
Still down.
Still, but that's
Benefit.
Asiyah.
We're gonna learn at the end of today, if you guys let me get there.
Sorry.
only.
No, tell me sorry. I'm just saying that most people today are way past Nefesh. If you guys let me get to the end of the
Wait
shiur
a
today.
second, he had a good question.
Way past Nefesh.
If someone's Nefesh, if someone is Ruach Shebenefesh,
Down there.
No, up.
In Ruach.
Yeah, it could be Ruach, it could be Neshama.
if someone is Ruach Shebenefesh of Tiferet,
Yeah, Tiferet,
okay,
Tiferet, Nefesh Baruach.
Okay, right. So that means he does, automatically he doesn't have to fix the Malchut, the Yisod of.
Of Ruach Shebaruach.
Yeah,
Yes,
he doesn't.
of course not.
So automatically he always starts.
Higher.
So let's say now he finished Nefesh, Ruach, the whole Nefesh, the whole Ruach, and he gets to Chaya, right? No, I'm sorry, he gets to Neshama, right?
Yeah.
He starts from the Malchut Neshama, or he starts from
No,
the
you're
Tiferet?
no, you start from the highest level that you achieve, the highest sphera. You're a new sphera right now. You change the charge of your soul.
But you can't
So
get to the
automatically-
next thing without hitting Keter.
No, you could. Only in Asiyah you can't do that.
Asya, you have to do all of them?
In Asiyah you have to reach Keter.
Okay.
In Ruach and above you don't have to reach Keter, or else there would be no end, guys.
Are there Ibors if you started off, let's say you went into Ruach, as you saw,
Yeah.
is there Ibor from Malchut, even though he passed
Who? When he gets to which level?
When he gets to Ruach, there's Nefesh,
He's in Nefesh Baruach. This guy or this guy? The tzaddik or Daniel?
that's a deep.
The tzaddik is he got. Let's say his Nefesh
Every
Baruach.
level up, you go to wherever
Yeah.
wherever you left off, right?
Yes.
So let's say you already saw it.
No, already you saw. That's it. It's somebody else's job to fix now. Now this tzaddik, let's go to his Ruach Shebaruach. Okay? Let's go to his Ruach Shebaruach. This tzaddik has reached the Sphira of Tiferet. Right? So now he finished Nefesh Shebaruach. Now he's going to Ruach Shebaruach, right? He has how many Sefirot? 10.
But he starts off in Tiferet.
No, wait. Why Ruach Shebaruach? Nefesh Shebaruach.
Yeah, he finished his Nefesh Shebaruach. He couldn't get higher than Tiferet.
So how
So
can
why
you
does
go?
he
How do you
How
go to
can you
Ruach
go
Shebaruach?
Why not?
Off
Huh?
Tiferet.
Yeah. Why not?
So but that means he
Darth
automatically
Tiferet.
graduates the last 3.
Yes. No, what do you mean? He doesn't have to do. Listen, he doesn't have to. Once you're a manager of a store, well, now you're gonna quit your job. You're going to the next store. You're gonna be a janitor.
No.
You already are a manager. You're not gonna go down to be a janitor.
Yeah, but it's different.
But he doesn't need to fix the other 10 Sefirot
No.
once he goes higher and higher?
In Ruach, you don't have to fix 10
Last
Sefirot.
question.
In Ruach, you can fix 1 Sefirah if you want, and you could take all 10 if you want.
Take all 10
Yeah.
by...
From Keter until Malchut. If you want, you can take from Keter until if you want.
Right.
Or if you want, you can take how many Sefirot as you want.
Or you can just...
Or you can
continue,
just
keep leveling
yeah.
up on that
Yeah,
one.
but then let's say a person is a janitor, he'll always be a janitor. But instead of being a janitor in a public school, he'll be the janitor of the king.
Can you explain it in mitzvah-wise? Mitzvah-wise?
You understand what I'm saying? You're gonna be the janitor of the king.
My question is if he starts off in Tiferet the next one,
Yeah. Who said he's gonna get to a Gevura? There is no guarantee that even if he achieved Tiferet, that he'll ever achieve the sphere of Gevura.
So why does he go up a level?
Why does it go up a
Why does
level?
he go up a level?
What do you mean? A person wants to. Why can't he or why doesn't?
Why does
It all depends on
How
him.
does
He has to fix his midot in that level. Now let's say I'm Ruach Shebaruach right now. You're gonna have to go through all the tests again.
are there tests?
Of course.
What I'm gonna
Shalom
say-
Bayit, learning Torah, Yetzer Hara. What does the Gemara say? What did Abaye said? If I was in that guy's shoes, I would have been with her. Abaye said such a thing? Then the old guy comes to him. Some say it was Eliyahu. He says, don't worry about it. You're on the world of Atzilut. This guy's in the world of Nefesh. His test is not your test. Everybody who's in a higher level has a different Yetzer Hara. Every level that you go up, you went from Nefesh Shebaruach to Ruach Shebaruach, you have a new Yetzer Hara.
בוא נמשיך. בוא נעמיק ערבית 9:45.
9:45 already? 9:30. So did you guys get it? Is it understood or no?
For the most part.
For the most part?
No, okay, one question, then I'll be done. I know we get, but if we don't ask questions, we don't learn. So for Nefesh, if you come from Nefesh, right?
Yeah.
Let's say you don't come from the Malchut, you come from the Tiferet.
Okay.
You automatically have to go to the Malchut to fix all of them.
When?
The Nefesh.
If you're a Tiferet?
Yeah.
No, you always start at Tiferet.
But are there
No, no,
Ibors?
Tiferet of the...
No. You
Are
only
there
the
Ibors
only
from the ones
no.
beneath?
Let's say I'm Shalom Gedayev. I could only come down as an Ibur
Forget Ibur, I'm not talking about that.
No, I'm sorry.
if I had
I'm
that
good
part of
with
the
it.
soul. Okay? If I had that part of inside of me. If I didn't have that part inside of me, that spark can't come down.
Okay, good.
Okay?
You
That's
said
what
from
I
the
was confused
people that are from Nefesh, they have to start from Malchut. They have to take everything.
I never
from,
said
You
that.
said everything from the bottom, they have to bring up to the
Yes, whatever charge that he was.
Uh,
If he was Tiferet, he has to work from Tiferet until Keter. If he was Yesod, he has to work from Yesod until Keter.
But he can still work on the other things beneath him too.
Okay, then I'll
Yes,
take
of
that.
course. Okay? Are you okay? You only asked one question. You sure? Are you sure?
Weiter.
Okay.
got it.
So you understand now where the Iburs come from. It's the part of the tzaddik that he fixed that he doesn't really need anymore. Because he achieved already a much higher level. So that part of him goes down and helps other people.
Also helps himself.
Yeah, and I want to get to the last part. It's such an amazing thing. It's everybody here is gonna walk out today thinking that he's some tzaddik. Okay? Hopefully, I don't know. The haruach ha'ikari, and the main ruach, the one that he fixed the high. Now he got to tiferet, the highest level that he got. Hayoter alyon mikulam shekana lidei ma'asav hu hatzarur la'ad b'torah chaim. It stays in the treasure chest of life. So you know, it doesn't move. The ken ader zeh b'neshama ha'yichida. Same thing with all the other parts of your soul. So the highest part that you achieve stays over there, and the lower parts could come down as a ibur. Now, the one question that somebody asked over here, which which was a very good question, and I will look more into it, was you asked when a person got to Tiferet, how come he can't go all the way up to Keter? What stops him from going up there? So that question I'll double check. Why does he have to? Could he really only stop at that potential, or could he reach until Keter? So that's something that warrants a search. That question warrants a search. But let's go weiter, okay, to the next subject. Now, עוד יש טעם שני. There's a second reason. כעניין החלוק שיש בין עשייה אל שאר. Why is עשייה so different than the other worlds? The first reason we said because it's closer to what? The Sitra Achra. There's a second reason why עשייה is different than all the other ones. Why in עשייה I have to reach till Keter and the other ones I don't? והוא כי נודע כי כל העולמות הם קלות יוצרת בלבד. All the worlds are really, if you look at them in a macro version, they're all really 10 sefirot. Atzilut is what? Chokhmah. Biriya is Bina. Yitzira is from Chesed until Yesod in a macro level, and Asiya is what? Malchut. So what do we see? All the world is really what? 10 sefirot. So he says over here, Hine Asiya kula, the world of Asiya, einena rak sefira achad. It's really in essence only one sefira, which is what? Sefira. Sefira. Asiya is. No, you have to reach Keter, but in general, in a macro version, I'm gonna draw it out on the board.
So instead of Ruach, you say
Wait, where's my
Bina.
Here. Wait a second. I got it. We have the world of, starting from the top, Atzilut, Biriya, Yitzira, and Asiya, right? Every world we said has 5 parts. Every 5 parts has 10. But if I look at them in a macro version, really, Atzilut in the big picture is really the Sefira of what? That means all of Atzilut is in the Sefira of Chokhmah. That means the whole world is really one big 10 Sefirot. So all of Atzilut is Chokhmah. All of Biriya is Bina. All of Yitzira is from Chesed until Yesod. And all of Asiya is what? Malchut. So the reason why in Malchut I have to reach till Keter, because since all of Malchut, all of Asiya is really what kind of Sefira? It's only one Sefira, right? And on the other hand, Yitzira is 6 Sefirot. So therefore, in Malchut, I could reach until Keter of every part of my soul. But in Yitzira, it's 6 Sefirot that are all disconnected from one another. So therefore, I'm able to fix a part and then jump to the next level. Okay, but in here, all the levels have to be what? Okay, what's the question?
But it's not that you're jumping a different level, which is now.
What's the reason we said in Malchut I could reach until Keter of every part? Because it's all really what? One Sefira. And in Yetzirah, it's how many Sefirot? It's 6. So therefore, I could fix and leave, fix and leave, fix and leave. What's the Avi? What about Bina? How come in Bina we don't say the same thing, Chokhmah? Because when Bina and Chokhmah came out in the upper worlds, they came out full of 10 Sefirot themselves. You understand? They were already included in it, they were already fixed. Okay? Therefore, when somebody gets to Neshama, which is Bina, which is Bria, he doesn't sin anymore. But Yetzirah and Asiya came out very, very, very small. Okay? Therefore, those 2 parts of your soul need a lot of work. Especially this part. Okay? Let's read it inside. So all of Malchut, all of Asiya is really one Sefira, which is Malchut. Therefore, in that world, you could reach until the Keter. It's all really one Sefira in a macro level, not in a micro, in the macro. But Sefira is, Yitzira is how many Sefirot? 6, right? Chesed until Yesod. And they're all separated from one another. Therefore, somebody who comes from Malchut, the Yetzirah, even though he fixed his Malchut already, he can't become a Yesod. What does that mean he can't become? I just spent half an hour teaching you guys that I could go up to Yesod. What does that mean he can't become a Yesod? The Malchut can turn into a Yesod. You understand? The actual Malchut can, but in Asiya, all the parts of my soul turn into what? Keters. And here, once I fix my malchut. It has to stay where? In the malchut. And then I can jump until yesod. Okay? ולכן צריך שישאר למה. Therefore it has to stay in the bottom. ויקנה רוח חדש מן היסוד ליצירה. And I could buy myself a new part, not actually buy it, but acquire, which is the יסוד ליצירה. אם ירצה לעלות שם, על ידי מסעדוי, only through what? Good deeds. חסד. וכן הדרך זה בשעה שזאת, and the same thing with the rest of יצירה. Okay? How many more minutes we have? 5 more minutes.
What constitutes chesed?
Chesed could be anything. It could be,
Your curiosity, helping you out.
shalom bayit. It could be bringing another guy to a shiur. It could be teaching somebody how to put on tefillin. It could be buying somebody matzot that he doesn't have. It could be tzedakah. It could be saying to somebody good morning. You know how many stories there are like that, where a guy was about to suicide and one guy said to him, good morning, and he smiled. It could be there be any greater chesed than that. It could be tikkun chatzot, you're doing a chesed to the shechina. There's many forms of chesed. But don't forget what I said yesterday. All chesed has to have a little bit of yirah. There has to be some judgment to it too. Because if chesed just overflows, then the world becomes a flood. That you should know. Every world has 5 partsufim, which I explained to you guys many weeks ago. Every world that's called, let's say, Asiyah. Let's use the blue pen. Asiyah, the world of Asiyah, has 5 partsufim. What are they? The highest is what? Arich Anpin. Get ready, guys. Chodesh Elul, the world of Arich is open for 40 days, the highest level. Then we have Abba. Then we have Ima, Za, and Nenok. That's in terms of Partsufim, systems. In the lexicon, in the language of Neshamot, we call them something else. What are they? Yechidah, Chaya, Neshama, Ruach, and Nefesh. Okay? But all of them correspond to the 5 systems. Huh? Sphero too, but Sphero is a micro. This is more of a macro. You're looking at it in a macro. Okay? So the corresponding to 5 systems is the 5 parts of your soul. Hanefesh minok deza. The nefesh comes from the nok. Ruach comes from where? From Za. Neshama comes from where? Ima. Chaya comes from where? Abba, Shu Chochma, which is also the Sphira of Chochma. Kisham Mekom HaChaim, because Chochma, Abba, that's where life comes from. That's where our life comes from. From that Sphira. Kinodah, so the Chochma Techia, because the book of King Solomon says, and Chochma and wisdom will give a person life. He wasn't talking about actually having wisdom. He was talking about the Sphira of Chochma. Vayichida me'arich, and Yichida is Arich Anpin, and Ikra Keter. Why is he called Arich? Why is he called Yichida? Yichida means one. Because the world of Arich is Yachidu Miuchad, is oneness. It's a special kind of oneness. It's kind of like water. If you look at water, it has a very unique oneness to it. Right? Mikol Shar Sfirot, She'eno Nekeva, also, the world of Arich has something special than all the other ones. All the other systems has a female aspect to it. Abba has Ima, Za has no, Arich has no female, has no negative charge. In Arich, everything is what? Positive. Okay, so it's called Yechidah. Yechidah means what? One, because there's only one charge over there, positivity. And we know this from the Pasuk, Ru'ata ki ani anihu, and it's B'Sefer Hazor, Rishat Bereshit. Okay, now one more thing I want to teach you guys. How come Malchut is very connected to Keter? Because Malchut in the Hebrew, in the Kabbalistic language, is called Ani. When Hashem uses the term Ani, he's revealing himself through the Shekhinah, which is Malchut. In the Kabbalistic language, we call Keter Ayin, nothingness. When you're so humble, you're nobody. Look at the letters. It's the same thing. That's why David HaMelech, which is Mashiach, will be the only one to reach Which aspect of his soul? Yechidah, that nobody else has reached. Because he's Malchut and he could turn into what? Keter. Now here's the part which I want to teach you guys, which we have to finish before you go. And I know you have to go to Arabic, but you got to read this. Da. Ki achar shadam zachan. Now, for this I must explain it to you outside first, and then we can read it inside. I must say this outside. Okay? We are all reincarnated souls. In our reincarnation, we can't get all 5 parts of our souls in one reincarnation. It's impossible. Our bodies can't handle it. There's only one type of soul that could get all 5 parts in one reincarnation. A new soul. First time in this world.
You know.
We're not. I'll tell you already right now. We're not. Okay?
Not even Garrett?
Huh?
Not even Garrett?
No. Even a ger had to originally be in somebody else. We're going to learn right now before we could have thought to be a ger. Okay? Now, let's say a guy first time he's fresh. What do we call fresh? He's a rookie. Let's call him Moshe. Moshe, he was born. Since he's a neshama chadasha, what's chadasha? He's new. He could get all 5 parts of his soul. Now he was such a tzaddik that if it's your first time, it's very easy to get all 5. Because you have no Yetzer Hara. Your Yetzer Hara didn't taste what the Averot were. So he had the zechut of getting his nefesh. We got nefesh in black, because that's the color of the malchut. He got his ruach, blue, which is the color of za, techelet. And he also got his neshama. Karoji, this guy hit the jackpot. Red is din, is bina. But he made a small mistake. He made a sin. Now the problem with getting such a high level in one gilgul, one sin that you do has an effect on all 3 parts. So with great power comes great responsibility. Now, there's a problem now. Until Moshe comes back in a gilgul to fix all that, each one has 5 parts. And each 5 parts has what? 10 years. Now, till this guy is going to get fixed, we have to live in this world for another 6,000 years. So what does Hashem do? He splits his soul. He sends nefesh down to a guy called, David. David is born with Moshe's original nefesh. His job is to fix the nefesh. Yisrael is born automatically with what?
Ruach.
The Ruach.
Really?
Hashem does that to fix the world faster. And we have a guy, let's call him, Aharon.
They're all the same people.
And they're all the same. They're all the same guy. But since his soul is split, they're all the same original soul. They're all the same original soul. But it's split now into 3 because when he sinned, he made a pegam, a blemish in all 3 parts. And Aharon is born with what? The neshama. That means there are people walking in this world that already have a ruach. They're born with a ruach. There are people walking in this world already walking with what? Yeah. So when I tell you guys nefesh, this, it's so hard to fix the nefesh. We're at the end. We're almost in the times of Mashiach. You don't know what parts of souls you're walking down. You're walking with over here. You understand? Huh? Now usually the guys who have the ruach and the neshama fix their parts much faster. So what is the last generation usually left to fix? Nefesh. But you never know. You never know. That means we have 15 million Jews. How many are religious already? I'm sure we got a couple of ruachs running down over here, a couple of neshamot, maybe even a chaya, 1 or 2. I'm serious.
So if one of these 3 sin, how does it break down?
It does. Oh,
But no Yechida. Nobody's.
no, only David HaMelech will reach that.
No. Is anybody born with it?
Only David HaMelech will reach the Yechidah of Atzilut. Nobody has ever reached the big Yechidah. Those souls will only come down when Mashiach comes. Okay? Now, what's the problem, guys? When the Ruach comes down, it needs a cup. it needs something to hold it. Now what's supposed to be holding it? David. But David has the nefesh. So what's going to hold the ruach of Israel? God sends a soul that comes from a zivug of tzaddikim. There's the marriage of tzaddikim in heaven. Those are called souls of Gary. Huh? What do? They're there to hold as a temporary kiseh, chair, the ruachs and the neshamas that are separated from what?
Nefesh.
Their nefesh. Yisrael has a ruach.
In our world.
In our world, let's say you have a ruach. You were born with the ruach of Moshe, right? You can't just be born with a ruach. The ruach has to sit on something. If you have a hot pot coming off the flames, you put it straight on the countertop, it could sizzle the counter. So what do you do? What do you put under the pot? Something, a towel, right?
How does the gear come into play?
Now, you're thinking of a ger once he became a ger, right? No. The soul of a ger happens every chatzot laila. Every midnight, tzaddikim get together with their wives in Shamayim, and they have a zivug. And that zivug creates what? Souls of gerim.
Everyone.
Yeah, all the gerim come from there. And Rabbi Akiva in Maseret Chagiga was able to do that while he was alive.
Wow.
And Ben Azai was able to do that while he was shopping for Shabbat. And Abaye was able to do that while he was learning Torah.
Makes it okay.
Yeah, in the mind. They were able to do it through meditation.
With
It's a
their,
spiritual zivug.
with their wife.
No, you see, in your body itself, you have negative charges. They were able to combine their souls in heaven with their roots and create souls of Gerim while they were alive.
Wow.
Very high level. The Ari says whoever could do that is a gigantic neshama. Gigantic. It's enormous. And these nishamot Gerim, before they could be born as Gerim, they have to go through a cleansing process. Our souls stop inside the Malchut of Atzilut as a cleansing process. The nishamot of Gerim stop inside bodies of human beings that are missing their nefesh. And as Yisrael is fixing his ruach, he's purifying this nefesh hager. And once Yisrael finishes his ruach, the nefesh hager is what? It's fixed, and it could be born into, let's call him, I don't know, Shmuel. He was originally Samuel. He went from Samech Mem, and he became into Shmuel. You understand, guys, how this works?
Sort of help each other.
Yes. Everybody, call Yisrael Arevim. So what do we learn from here? Two things. Now the same thing with the Neshama, obviously, right? Same thing with Aharon. The same thing happens with Aharon. Aharon needs also Nefesh Hager to hold his Neshama. And once he fixes the Neshama, the Nefesh Hager is born into some Ger.
But where does he start off?
Nefesh Hager, he has his own system of Nefesh, Ruach, Neshama, Haya, Yechidah.
He starts off fresh.
Yeah.
That's why they're so great, no?
Who?
Gerim.
Gerim. Now, it's a
The
double, but
real
it's
Gerim.
yeah, but it's also a problem. Why? Since this Nefesh Hager didn't come from a zivug of Sfirot, it came from zivug of Tzadikim. Sometimes Yisrael has a Nefesh Hager, right? So the Nefesh Hager could make Yisrael ruin his ruach. Sometimes that happens too. You understand? So it's all relative. It all depends what you got inside of it.
He can ruin yourself.
Yeah, he can also ruin Israel because it doesn't have the same charge. You understand what I'm saying, guys? So it's that's why the Gemara says Kashin Gerim Israel. That's what the Ari says it really means. Okay, let's read it inside. Da. It's mine or Sprite? No, it's not? Okay, let's just read. Da. כי אחר שאדם זכר גנב, let's say a guy is a neshama חדשה, and he got nefesh, ruach, neshama. ואחר כך פגם בהם, and he made a sin with them, על ידי חטאו. לכן יצטרך לחזור בגלגול, he has to come back as a gilgul now, right? Reincarnation, all three. לתקן, because he has to fix what he messed up. את אשר עיוות. הנה בחזרתו, when he comes back לבוא בגלגול, ותבוא בו הנפש, now he has a nefesh inside of him. אף על פי שתיקן נפש הזאת, even though he technically already fixed the nefesh, he just blemished it a bit. אין הרוח שלו נכנס, he can't, David can't come with the nefesh and the ruach of Moshe. Why can't he have the ruach? Why does the ruach have to go to another guy? Because since he messed up his nefesh, the ruach, which is in a higher level, can't sit on something that's blemished.
Why can't you say that about all the other things that we're going to do?
What do you mean?
They someone achieves, up.
Yeah, so?
Say the same thing. He'll never be able to achieve it because he was blemished since the first.
All the things that I taught you till now, it's only in a neshama chadasha. We are all neshamot yeshanot. The real fun starts in Hagdama bit. Okay? Lefi sharuach hu pagum, the ruach is also messed up. Ve'ech yisher, how is it going to go on the nefesh? It's only a bit blemished, and also vice versa. לכן הרוח הוא יבוא בגלגול אדם אחר, מורכב על נפש הגר. Therefore, the ruach has to come in a new guy, Israel, and he has to come with what? נפש הגר. וכן הנשמה, so do with the נשמה באופן הזה. והנפש שנתקעה לגמרי, the נפש that was fixed, that it already is getting fixed, תבוא לו רוח אחר. Now, let's say David, now what's the problem? David fixed his nefesh. But Yisrael has the ruach. So what kind of ruach he's going to get now? God is going to send him the ruach of a tzaddik. Let's say that guy who fixed already his malchut and his yesod and his netzach and his zihol, God is going to send him one of those. One of those iburim. No. Once if it's a ibur, it's only a helper. It gets credit, but it doesn't get...
No, David.
What? No. David is only a nefesh. Yeah, no, but it's not fair. He deserves a ruach too.
Exactly.
So he gets a ruach of a tzaddik, and that tzaddik that comes inside of him gets pluses. He doesn't get the minuses of David. Okay?
David doesn't get any.
Yeah, but he's changing his whole aspect.
No, because the ruach that you get first, that's how you get a ruach.
David doesn't get anything, Bekitza.
But
Yeah.
these three guys are here to fix emotion. The root soul, right?
Yeah.
So David fixed his part.
Yeah.
Why do I have to go to a different neshama? Why can't I fix or help Israel fix Noah?
How are you going to do that? You're going to die then.
Well, then what's the point of living?
You finish your tikkun. Yes.
Why help the Sadiq? Well, what's the point of helping the Sadiq?
You're not helping him. He's helping you.
Why? I'm done.
So you want to go bye-bye?
But I'm done.
Don't you want to see your kids' weddings and your grandkids' weddings?
But if you're done, you're done.
You're done. But you want to live a long life. You could do more
But
mitzvot.
you might do more.
No. Yes,
That's why
true.
the Tzaddik doesn't take that road, just take the mitzvot.
The tzaddik gets the mitzvah. So there are more details to this. This whole thing that I'm telling you guys right now is just an introduction to a whole load of chapters. Okay. Though there are sometimes, you're right, tzaddikim die at a very early age. Why? They had a part of their soul. They fixed it. Das vidanya. But let's say like the Ariya Kadosh. He was born to this world a fixed person, right? He only had one thing to fix. To teach Rabbi Chaim Vital. Did he teach Rabbi Chaim Vital? He passed away then, right? But Rabbi Chaim Vital says if he would have lived a little bit more longer, he would have explained me the whole Gemara al Pi Yasod. Would you say it was worth it for the Ari then to get another Ibur?
But he didn't die because of that. He died because of the other.
So you see, there are more aspects to this that we don't understand yet. Okay? But David...
That was a punishment, not a finished job.
Of course it was a finish. He came to teach Rabbi Chaim Vital.
But he didn't.
Did he teach him? He didn't teach him?
He didn't finish.
And not only that, I'm going to tell you a secret. If you learn Sefer Chezionot, you're going to see that the Ari HaKadosh was teaching Rav Chaim Vital for decades after he passed away in his dream. For decades. He only came to him in a dream, would teach him. To the point where Rav Chaim Vital used to complain. How come after like 20 years, how come my Rebbe stopped coming to me in my dream? He used to teach him every night as if he was alive. So it's not as simple as you think. But this poor guy David, he fixed his nefesh, but he deserves to die. It's not his fault that he was Moshe. Now, and when it comes to Chet HaMetim, who get all of them?
Same person?
Yeah, David gets up. No, they're gonna be friends. Now, I'm gonna tell you guys a secret.
Same person, yeah.
David, Israel, and
Aaron,
and let's say they all live at the same time. They're all gonna hate each other.
Oh, yeah.
They're not gonna like each other. They're gonna have a certain
Jangi.
Janganozi. That's what I was exactly saying before.
Moshe gets up also or no?
Yeah, Moshe gets up
But
with
he
the
messed
part.
us up.
But what comes back in the reincarnation? Only the part that's messed up. You guys are jumping the gun. I can't give you the whole Shar Gilgulim on 1 foot. Okay? That's not the way it works. Now you just listen to what it says. Let's finish the chapter. So David, which had the nefesh, gets the ruach of Ezet Tzaddik Shtitme'ela b'ma'asav hatovim, who gets a ruach of a tzaddik that had similar character traits as him. בפרטם כיוצא בהם, והוא אליו תמורת רוחו של זמן, and that tzaddik acts as a ruach for him. Okay? וכן הדרך זה, אם תיקן גם ruach, so too by Israel, if he finished his ruach, now he has to get a neshama. אז תבוא לו נשמה, איזה צדיק נזכר, he gets a neshama of some tzaddik, someone else, because the neshama is technically where? It's by who? It's by Aaron, so you can't get Aaron. Aaron's not going to die to go inside of him. So he gets the neshama of some tzaddik who already fixed the neshama. ותהיה לה תמורת נשמתו ממש. וזה סוד מה שכתוב חז"ל, גדולים צדיקים במיתתם יותר בחיים. The Gemara says, מסכת חולין, that tzaddikim are greater in their death than in their life. Why? When they're alive, they could sin, they could do mitzvot. Right? But when they're passed away, they come down to help people, they only get what? The checks. So that means when a tzaddik passes away and he comes down in a ibur, his olam haba gets magnified. Why? Because he's helping David as his ruach, quasi ruach, and at the same time he's also sharing in his olam haba.
So you're saying the guy can't sin when he has people?
Of course he can sin. If he sins, the neshama leaves.
He doesn't get punished?
He doesn't get punished. Unless it's something called ibur hadomeh legilgul. We're going to learn that in the next example.
Then he gets both. Sin and bad.
If he gets ibur hadomeh
He
legilgul.
needs a fixing.
Who? Yeah, that's the whole point. The ibur hadomeh legilgul. V'ineh. Last couple of lines. Kasher yifater ish hazeh min ha'olam. Let's say one of them passes away. Telech nafsho im haruach hahu v'al yado tekabel hashefa haraui la. When David and Israel pass away, the nefesh and the ruach meet at one point in olam haba. They meet, and as the nefesh and the ruach come together, they're able to get a very magnified Gan Eden. Because if they're all alone, they can't get whatever they really need.
When they all die,
They all come back together, but not together in a sense of they're all one, because nefesh is a nefesh and a ruach is a ruach. But they all have to be in the same yeshiva, let's call it. David is not going to be in the Ari's yeshiva, and Israel is going to be in Moshe Rabbeinu's yeshiva. No, they all have to be in the same room. That way they can all get the shefa very magnified. Okay? וכאשר רוחו של עצמו הבאה בגלגול באדם אחד מוכר הנפש הגר, כזכרתי כאן גם הוא לגמרי, אז הנפש הראשונה אומרת, אלך ואשוב אל אישי הראשון כיוון שנתקן. And so he just explains that there's a pasuk in the Torah where the woman says, I want to return back to my husband. So the same thing with the nefesh. The nefesh is really the wife of the ruach. So it always wants to be connected to the ruach, because the nefesh is really the nukva, and the ruach is zah. So the nukva always wants to be connected to zah.
So nefesh, ruach, neshama.
All right. So and also, yeah, yichida is by itself. Okay. But only the nefesh will go back to the ruach. Wait a second. If the ruach is fixed. If the ruach is not fixed, the nefesh doesn't want to go back, which is a very big yesod in shalom bayit. So if the ruach, which is the husband in the house, is not fixed, so the nekeva doesn't want to say ashuva el ishi harishon. Because everything is just an aspect of the olamot elyonim in this world, this materialistic world. Okay? If you guys will learn Otzrot Chaim, you would know that we're living in Olam HaNikudim. We're living in the Shmirat HaKelim. The destruction of vessels. We're living in the chaotic world. Only when we will reach the year 7000, which is in another 200 and
30 years?
no, 222 years, will we reach the world of Atzilut, the Olam HaTikun. Okay? So right now we're in the chaotic world. So everything is the same that happened in the Nikudim. Okay? Just want to let you guys know one special thing, that whoever learns Torah Asot fixes his Yesod, his Brit Milah, the secrets of the Torah. Because Sod is secrets. Yesod is the foundation. It's the same exact thing. Yesod, Sod. What day of the week corresponds to the Yesod? Thursday night, which is Friday, Yom Shishi, the 6th. So we're learning Torah Hasod, which is fixing the Yesod on the day of the Yesod. And it's also Erev Rosh Hashanah, which is technically Erev Yom Kippur. Mekanim Nishama and Maruach, same thing happens with Nishama, same thing with the Ruach after the person passes away. When they come back, חוזרים בגלגול לתיקון יחד, ברוך אדוני לעולם, אמן ואמן. הקדמה ב' next week בעזרת השם.
No, I gotta bring a